Welcome to a brand new Five Heart Podcast live on a Thursday night on Corn Nation's YouTube channel, Facebook, and X. I'm your host, Greg Mahochko. Joining me is the co-host, newest addition to the team, although I was told in advertising class in college that after something is new for 6 months, you can't or shouldn't label it as new. So she's not the new co-host anymore. Minnie Hunt, welcome. Great seeing you again.
Not new. Oh, it's great to see you. Thank you so much.
New car smells worn off.
Oh, no. That doesn't sound good. You're just now breaking me in.
I never cared for the new car smell in vehicles personally. So,
okay. Sorry if you guys hear my dog barking in the background.
It's always somebody's dog. It's your dog barking. It's my dog, tap dancing.
So. I don't know what she needs right now.
Sounds like she needs to shut the fuck up. I'm kidding.
Our old co-host.
Justin, that's not what I'm saying. Good Lord.
Mm-hmm. Old.
Justin's here tonight. Fred is here tonight. Aaron Keene is here this evening.
Oh, good.
Justin was first. Minnie, you were second to comment. And we had, even before the show started, Justin reminding everybody, hit the like button, y'all. I think Justin's
Thank you, Justin.
wanting us to break format and get to the housekeeping, but we'll save that for later. So lots going on tonight in what I promise everyone is not going to be a 2-hour show. I have way too much to do. We're going to have some fun, get through this as quickly and painlessly as possible, or painfully if that's your thing. I don't know.
Okay.
But looking forward to it. Nebraska Rascal is here.
Oh, welcome.
The image looks familiar, but the name seems new. So Thursday Night Shenanigans.
Rascals.
That alone tells me that they're used to our show. So it's great to see Minnie's doggy barking Dylan. Nebraska Rascal already up to speed on how we do things around here. But looks like they are. I don't know what the little S means behind the names, but
the S. Oh, that's for StreamYard.
On them on the comments.
Yeah.
Like Rostovsky's got the little S actor. That's for StreamYard?
I believe so.
Okay. Can you believe it? Angela Matney's the first Matney to check in.
What's up, Angela? Awesome.
Fred says, looks like it's Scott Schrader's logo. So that's what I thought. So.
Oh.
Maybe Scott decided, he's like, you know what? It's time to not put my real name out there. So.
Oh, you know what it is? It means they're a member. Yes. Thank you. That's what it means.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
I think Nebraska Rascal's been found out.
Oh. He wanted to see how long it would take us?
Maybe. Craig Gifford says, Greg, John said to pick a shirt and he'll send you one. He did say that.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Did you already pick one?
No. I have perpetually had copycorn.com open as a tab on my phone, and I haven't looked at it recently. So I didn't. It's go time. I will work on that. I'll have that to John in the next.
I'm going to be right back, guys. I got to go let my dog out. Sorry.
The next 24 hours, John will know exactly what shirt. I don't know. I mean, John's going out of. I don't know if he wants me to say this, but he's going fishing. Hey, I'm sure he discussed it on the Monday Night Therapy, but he's going fishing. So we will see.
He discussed it in great detail. All the fish that he's going to fish for, the type of boat, like that he used to have. He really explain to us this adventure. He got a passport.
I didn't know that they would honestly issue John one.
They did.
All right. Well, let's do a quick rundown of what we are expecting to talk about tonight. And I'm excited because at least nope, those are last week's. Hold on. What? Oh, you know what? I didn't. Okay, we're good. I was like, that's not the notes that I saw earlier. So what?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Did you look over the notes?
I did.
Okay, good. Thank you.
They all looked perfect. Can't wait to rip through them in a half hour or less.
Okay.
No, it won't be that fast, everybody. It won't be. Won't be that.
Oh, Fred. Hey, before we do anything, Fred wants to know. What happened to your finger?
Well, you got to read the rest of it.
No, I don't. I realize that's a potentially loaded question, and some will make it dirty.
I don't know who some would
dirty.
be. So I did a video on this, quick video over the weekend, actually while I was sitting in urgent care. But we have a pretty big event coming through my area here in just a couple of weeks. And I was out trying to help clear up the grounds. I was working with some older guys, and we were, cutting low branches, dead branches off some trees. And he was operating the pole saw, and I was trying to, when the pole saw finished its job, I was trying to get the branch out from falling on him, and the pole saw was still in the branch, and so I sliced my finger. So this is obviously, inner half of my index finger from knuckle to knuckle, all the way right through the skin. It was bleeding like so I got 4 or 5 stitches in there, and it was fine. I mean, I wasn't.
I'm just picturing you as a landscaper. The big sombrero hat out there.
No, I wasn't wearing a hat. Actually, I take it back. I was wearing a hat, just a ball cap. But I wasn't wearing gloves, and like work gloves probably would have come in handy in that situation. So
could have saved you.
Yeah,
could have saved your finger.
The finger's fine. I mean, it's still attached. It just, honest to God, I'm very lucky because some of the crews had some of the motorized, pole saws that are basically mini chainsaws on a 6.5 foot pole. So not all heroes wear capes. You're right. You're right, Aaron Keene. I couldn't just rub some dirt on it. I did my best. Jason Reeves watched the video of the injury. Thank you. Somebody did. I think I looked at, I don't get caught up on the stats, but when I was trying to find out why another one of our videos was no longer on the channel, I happened to see that it'd been up there a few days and it had 11 views. I'm like, that's about right. So Jason says, I watched the video of Greg's injury. Forgive him if he's grumpy. It's been a real struggle keeping it out of his ass. Oh, thanks, Jason. That's what.
That's what you expect.
That's about. And so here's the thing. As I mentioned, I couldn't have happened, honest to God, at a worse time because my wife's out of town this week. So it's just me and the boys, and did not have fully functioning hands to strangle, or be helpful in other ways. It's been a real detriment, but yeah, I have because I'm predominantly right-handed, Fred. So I have learned to wipe with the left hand. It's unusual. I'm 42 years old next week. I'd like to say that I've been wiping my own ass for 42 years, but realistically, probably 40. I don't know what age.
Oh no, you're a boy, so it probably took you quite a bit longer.
Thank you for making generalizations about my sex and gender.
True. It's true.
So yeah, I've had to, even holding a pen, which, thankfully I have a prop. Usually you hold a pen between your thumb and index finger, so I'm having to hold my pen like this. It's unusual. Yeah, wiping with the wrong hand feels dirty. I'm definitely right-handed. I can tell it. The hand-eye coordination. Time for the bidet, buddy. If I had unlimited income, I'd probably start with a bidet, in all honesty. All right. Well, we're not here to talk about my hand. I appreciate y'all asking. We're going to drink more beer and good times. Well, we're going to actually start off the show. Thank you, Minnie, for putting together the show notes with the recommended changes. And we're just going to dive right in and talk about one of the all-time greats at the University of Nebraska. You know him, you love him, and pretty soon you'll be able to welcome him to the University of Nebraska Hall of Fame, class of 2024. And that is the one and only Ndamukong Suh, House of Spears. Did you know that that's what Ndamukong meant?
No.
Yeah, it means house. It translates to House of Spears.
I didn't even know it was a real word.
I mean, it's his name, so.
Yeah.
Like Minnie's not a real word.
Well, it autocorrected on my computer, which is kind of weird.
It is kind of weird. So Sue's going to be honored once again. We all
this is a big deal.
I think so, but we always default to that 2009 season, kind of memorialized here in this image that Minnie provided in the Big 12 championship game against Texas, where he basically single-handedly took Colt McCoy out of the Heisman running. But I, for whatever reason in my mind, because I wasn't the diehard fan, almost 20 years ago that I am now. So I didn't even remember that, like, for whatever reason, I thought he was like a transfer kid, but he was with Nebraska. He played as a true freshman in 2005 before he had knee surgery and did a medical redshirt. But he was a backup defensive lineman in 2006 and earned, as a backup, freshman All Big 12 honors. He had 19 total tackles and ranked among the team leaders for tackles for a loss and quarterback sacks. He had 3.5 sacks as a freshman. And in his sophomore year, he had 34 total tackles, which is again up 15 from the year prior, starting in 11 of the 12 games. As a junior, 76 tackles, 7.5 sacks, 19 tackles for loss, 2 interceptions. I think the one we remember the most is probably Colorado, right? And he also had a touchdown reception while playing fullback. First Nebraska defensive lineman to lead the team in tackles since 1973. He was first team All Big 12 and honorable All-American. And then, of course, as a senior in 2009, 85 tackles, 12 sacks, 24 hurries, 20.5 tackles for loss, 3 block kicks, 1 interception. He had 12 tackles, including 4.5 sacks in that loss to Texas in the Big 12 championship game. He received the game MVP honors and played against Arizona in the 2009 Holiday Bowl, where we had our first shutout. It was the first shutout in Holiday Bowl history to that point. He should have been the Heisman Trophy winner. I think it was criminal that he wasn't. I don't know necessarily the parameters or requirements for eligibility to be in the University of Nebraska Hall of Fame. I don't know if they had to wait X amount of years, but certainly well deserved. And that means to me, it's only a matter of time until like Levante David, who will have, he played a couple years after Suh, will get his time of place of honor, I think, in the Nebraska Hall of Fame. So.
I just looked it up. There's only been a total of 4 defensive players as finalists. he's one of them.
Correct.
That's pretty huge. Charles Woodson is the only, cornerback that ever won.
The only defensive player?
Yep. So I think that just says it all right there. I mean, okay, here we go.
Where are we going? What are we doing?
You're just opening up a beer. How do you do that without your finger?
I mean, trust me, I if I had no hands, I could still open a beer. But luckily, I still have the other finger. All right. Let me double check. Things are okay. Things are saying that connection is fairly good or unsteady on my end at times. So I think we're okay.
Oh.
But anyway, Fred Sacco says, well, we all can echo in that Woodson can suck it. Let's see. Whoop. Aaron Keene says, I have a cousin in the Nebraska Hall of Fame. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Does he know that he has a cousin who's a regular member of the Chatterfields? I think he's probably pretty jealous of you, actually. Blaine Cole says, how do you do that without using your finger? Oh, boy.
You don't want to know. That's funny.
That's like after the show conversation. No, that's probably not after the show conversation. Carrie Winemaster. Hold on. We're gonna throw some random love here on the show. What?
What are we doing? This is not in the show notes.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I didn't know that Aaron Keene had a cousin who's in the Nebraska Hall of Fame. Let's see. So Carrie Winemaster from North Platte. He's a 2006 inductee into the Nebraska Hall of Fame. He was All Big 8 in 1979 and second team All-American also in 79. First team All Big 8. Starting middle guard. Had 44 tackles, 28 unassisted team, leading 11 stops behind the line for a total loss of 84 yards. 62 tackles as a junior, where he was second team All Big 8. 57 tackles as a sophomore, and as a true freshman. That's how you can tell it was after the events of the movie We Are Marshall, because true freshmen were not allowed to play up to a certain point. Where have you seen the movie We Are Marshall, Minnie?
Yes, great movie.
It is.
I didn't know that though.
What's that?
Because I thought that in the 70s, I heard that we had like an all freshman team. Didn't we have
maybe I wasn't allowed.
Like mostly freshmen? Does anyone else know?
Yeah, I've done my one allotment of Googling this episode. So, anyway, Aaron, that's awesome. Well done, sir.
Yep. Very cool.
All right. Back on topic, so to speak. Ndamukong Suh, we talked about his college accolades. He was a number 2 pick overall in the 2010 NFL draft, going to the Detroit Lions. He would also play for Miami. The Rams actually passed on him, and I believe, if I remember correctly, drafted Sam Bradford first out of Oklahoma as the quarterback. So I think I might have my years mixed up. But anyway, I don't want to say a bad NFL career. I mean, he made Pro Bowls and things like that. I think he ended up winning a Super Bowl, but he was called out quite a bit for what some would consider dirty play. Stomps after the whistle and things like that. I don't know. Football's it's not ballet. That's what they always say. It's not ballet. All right, so here we go. Jason Reeves says we had a freshman team until 1990. Freshman teams would play against one another, is what Fred says. Freshman teams like the JV team in high school. Jason says Frankie Solich ran the freshman team. That makes sense. They just couldn't play. Varsity, but
that's an interesting idea because this thing with trying to have a salary cap, and the schools paying the players and then having a cutoff for the roster, then if we have a cutoff for the roster, why don't we go back to that, having a freshman team? Like the NFL has, their...
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I just think then you have to essentially double your travel income. I mean, maybe they don't have to necessarily adhere to the conference like teams. They might be able to play more regional teams. They might be able to play the Iowas and Iowa States and maybe Minnesota's, but Kansas State, Missouri. I mean, they might be able to play those games a little bit more, kind of keep travel costs down. But I still think it's probably just an added expense that the university doesn't want to have. So,
well, I kind of like the idea. More teams for us to root for.
Fred says, ooh, many push for new freshman teams. Maybe you can move Dylan's chains yet.
Not Dylan's chains, Nebraska's chains.
Braska Rascal. I'm just going to have fun saying that. So we had freshman team up until they changed the scholarship limit from 95 to 85. So.
Oh. Look at all these historian buffs we have here.
They're the best. We have the smartest, most passionate, most knowledgeable fan base of all time, in any category. Our Chatterfields. We thank you. What?
We should do a game. A trivia game. Why? That would be fun. And then the Chatterfields could chime in. Kind of like, I got the answer. Can keep points. That would be fun. This could be a fun idea.
All right. Minnie's going to put it all together, and I'll just host.
Okay. You'll be like Alex Trebek?
No, I'll be like Pat Sajak. I'm going to go out with dignity and not die.
Okay. I think this would be fun.
Aaron Keene says, hashtag best worst chat. Speaking of some of our favorites, I don't see Melissa in here tonight. I don't know where she's at or what's going on there. Josh, I reached out to Josh Hansen and said, hey, don't forget 5 Heart tonight. He's like, it's fireworks time. I said, it's June. He says, we can celebrate freedom all the time up until midnight on July 5th. I'm like, not in my neighborhood. I'm going to chase your ass down. But we did, I don't say have a contest, or we did want to stress one element of growth last week. And of course, now everything on my end is free. Oh, there we go. John versus Haas would be a great trivia battle.
That's not fair. John has a brain injury.
But he's been around for more.
Yes, but Haas is a walking encyclopedia.
Also true.
It's not fair.
Sorry. I thought it was not a horrible idea, but apparently I was outvoted. Funny, it's just like in my marriage. When the voting is 1-1, I still lose. So we were trying to measure growth of the channel, or YouTube channel. I still see that we're between 10 and 20 subscribers from 10,000. So we'll have to wait to give away a shirt or two until next time. When we cross that threshold, then we'll find some merch to give away.
And only then.
Yes. But now's a great time to remind you, if you are joining us on YouTube, make sure that you hit that like button. I think somebody actually talked about it very early on, as far as, Justin said, hit that like button. Also subscribe. Again, we're kind of leaning in that direction. And make sure that you ring that bell for notification.
That just sounded really funny. If you're kind of leaning in that direction, like if you're thinking about it, go ahead.
I'll tell you what.
Make the commitment.
That's right. Wait, now hold on, Rostovsky. I'm going to start this comment. We're going to come back to you. Ring that bell for notifications so you know every time we drop a stream for for this or Monday Night Therapy or the movies show I can't remember the name of now. Oh, All the Right Movies. I got there. Or any other videos, even like random Saturday mid-morning videos about a dumbass who cuts the shit out of his finger that only 10 or 12 people watch. And that's fine.
I watched it.
I thank you. I was inspired by another YouTuber who said, hey, you know what? We have this regular show, but I might do small videos about glimpses into my actual life. I said, well, that'd be fun. And I ran it past John, and he says, whatever. He's like, I'm thinking about moving it all to Patreon anyway. So,
oh,
anyway. So,
all right.
All that YouTube-y stuff, make sure you do that. For all that merch that we were talking about, cobbycorn.com. You can support us. You can get a corn. I say us. Realistically, you're supporting John and apparently his fishing habit that we didn't know about.
Yes.
Because
his enjoyment.
We're not seeing the money. And John needs a vacation now and then. I'm going to be gone in a few weeks on vacation. So we'll have to make all of those arrangements ahead of time so that nobody's left here by themselves, because those are not the most fun shows, I'll tell you now.
No.
And then the books, you know about John's books. They're all available. Here's Been Dead, Never Been to Europe. And, of course, Manage Your Damage and The Mystery of the Dent in My Head. All available at Amazon.com. If you just type in John Johnston, you'll be treated to websites or links to all of them. So, yada, yada, yada. You're the best damn fan family we have. And don't know where we'd be without you.
This is a good comment. It's from Facebook, Stephen Williams. Greg Side Hustle, used car salesman.
I was a new and used car salesman back in the day.
I'm not surprised. You'd be great at it.
I was okay until I wasn't. And when I made $300 one month, I'm like, I better get out of here. It's
because you're too nice. You're too nice of a guy. You'd be like, you guys might get a better deal somewhere else.
No, I would never say that. But what I would tell people is, I told them in my office or at my desk, I would say, look, my approach is I'm not going to say anything you don't want. And I'm not going to put you anything that's going to be like have an adverse effect to your budget. If you say to me, Greg, we can only afford a $300 car payment, I'm not going to show you something that can be a $400 or $500. I'll say, hey, I think we might be able to get you like $307. Why don't you go in and talk to my finance guy and let you decide from there? But, and having had to just buy a new vehicle a couple of weeks ago because one of ours shot craps, it's never fun. So,
yeah.
Let's see. What the other one was, fucking Rostovsky. Salmon shirts? No. This is the shirt in question, Minnie. This is the shirt that everybody claims is salmon. I have new lighting. You know
what it is? I know what it is. It looks
vintage.
Like it could. Okay, it's vintage.
There's a tag down here. There's a tag down here that says retro brand. Retro brand.
Okay, so it's supposed to be faded. And it looks like it has kind of that heather like look, with the gray speckles throughout.
I don't know anybody named Heather. That has that, but I don't know anybody named Heather. I don't think she touched.
No, that's the name of the style of fabric.
I'm more confused by why you're not looking at the camera. Like, why are you looking up?
Well, okay, guys. If you only had the idea of, okay, I know what I can do. What is going on in my world?
What? That's a great question. Do you have the answer? Or are we supposed to guess?
Okay, I can do this now. Watch. Well, let me just tell you, I have spent so much money on equipment that is useless. Literally. And I have like that teleprompter that I used last week was a joke. I could not use that. So then I went and bought another monitor, and that's the variation in the
height.
there. Yeah. Okay. Is this better? Are we happy with me not looking up?
We're happy.
It's just that screen was so big. It's like, hello.
See, I have simplified my rig over the years. I used to, so when this was a podcast, I don't know, this might fall under housekeeping, but when this was a podcast, this was like pre-Zoom. This is back when Hoss and I, or Brian and I, or Hoss and John and I, or John and I, or Todd, or whatever, we would record on Skype before Zoom was ever a thing.
Oh,
Again,
I remember that.
The pandemic, like
Skype.
Zoom shot up out of nowhere and Skype faded away. But I used to have a soundboard, and I used to have big headset with like a built-in microphone piece. No, it's packed away now. And a few years ago, I just simplified down to this microphone that I run USB right into the laptop. Some things are like I can't run audio into the show like I used to, but it works perfectly for our purposes. So, all right. Well, let's bounce back.
But you still have not replaced your boob light.
Why would I? You know what? It needs it too. All right?
Do you like doing that?
Every time you call it a boob light, I'm going to be like, you're right, it is. And you know what?
It's like, no, never mind.
No, you got to say it.
Well, I was going to say titillating your boob light.
You know what? What would be really crazy is if I ever did that and all of a sudden the light came on, you know. that would make the Chatterfields go crazy if that ever happened.
Mm-hmm.
So diddle. All right, moving on. That's not how I strain the finger. That's right. I didn't saw my boob light finger. So moving on. Okay. Nebraska acquired a transfer portal kicker, which is not something you hear about too often. But not only is he a 5-star, or he was a 5-star, I should say, coming out of Lincoln Southwest in the 2023 class. He played at Iowa Western Community College. I shouldn't say play. He redshirted at Iowa Western IWCC. Younger brother of former Nebraska punter Jacob Hohl, and that is John Hohl, the kicker. This guy right there.
So I had a question on this. He was a 5-star for the 2023 class. And Tristan Alvano was a 3-star for the 2023 class. Why? What happened? Why did he end up going to a junior college? I wonder.
That can be for a variety of reasons. So according to 1011now.com, let's see, he announced his commitment last Friday. He was committed to Coastal Carolina, but switched to Nebraska, ranked as the top overall transfer kicker in the country and the second 5-star recruit for this fall. Okay, that didn't really tell me a whole lot about his situation coming out of high school. I mean, a lot of times it can be, like maybe grades. It can be a variety of reasons.
I am not saying he's dumb. I was just wondering.
That's Fred with the comment for all of you audio-only consumers of this content. We'll save that question for later, Brasco Rascal. Let's see. I mean, I wish I knew why. Sometimes the guys just need a year to get their mind right. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what he's able to do. I just wonder, how excited is Ed Foley right now? If you're Ed Foley, you have Tristan Alvano, and you have this guy now.
Well, Rostovsky says kicker rankings on the recruiting websites are whack. You really can only go by the kicking camp's rankings.
Well, he was ranked pretty high in the kicking camp.
Good. Hold on. Jason Reeves says a 5-star kicker is like a 5-star box of chocolates.
Okay. There you go.
Minnie is vetting him against her stalker standards. That's right. He is a 5-star. So
He is.
At least on paper. I guess we'll never know. Fred Sacco says it's 35 minutes in. Minnie hasn't fat shamed Greg, so I'm attaching smart shaming to her for the kicker kid. Well, thank you very much.
That's because Greg is slimming down.
It's a slow and arduous process, and it doesn't help when I have 2, 3, 4 beers on a Thursday night, but helps me get through sometimes the show.
Oh boy.
Let's see. Rostovsky says Alvano also had the greatest postseason run in Nebraska high school kicker history.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He did.
And Stephen Williams, our friend on Facebook, says maybe he wanted to be the water boy.
Well, I guess there's always that.
By the way, God bless you, beautiful people on X. Did you know that presently there are over 1,100 people watching us on X?
That's insane.
That is insane.
Wow. Hello, X. No.
John Hohl, welcome to the Big Red. Welcome home. Jason Reeves says Greg hasn't been able to work out since his injury. Lighten up, fuggers. That's right. and I did a lot of working out before the injury too. Let me tell you. So, all right, moving on. It will be.
Strained yourself.
You
strained yourself working out on Saturday.
I gotta tell you what. I gotta phrase this delicately. Working that saw that is on the extension piece of equipment.
Okay.
Because I don't want to say certain words around this bunch.
Like working your pole saw?
Yeah. I was trying to avoid phrasing it just like that, Minnie.
That's what it is.
I know. But they're difficult angles. My shoulders got to work out. Like I felt I was in a great place. And then, you try to catch a sharp piece, sharp object with your finger. And again, just happy as heck that I still have the finger. So, all right, well, moving on. We acquired a running back who reclassified to the 2024 year.
Yeah.
I don't know the process that it takes to do that. I imagine you have your transcript. You have to have all your classes. I don't think you.
Yeah.
You forego kind of essentially your senior season, right? To be able to go off to college early, by my understanding. I don't know. But in doing so, the player that we acquired is Mekhi Nelson, a running back from, if I'm seeing the notes and interpreting them correctly, Connecticut. Minnie.
Yep. He's from Connecticut, and EJ Bartell has been recruiting him hard ever since he saw him when he was an assistant coach at Connecticut. So at UConn. So he saw this kid in the Under Armour Bowl, and then he made an offer from Nebraska right away. And yeah, so we got him.
And just how quickly things, can happen. Because again, this is a young man who finished his junior year and was probably, he's going to miss out on a lot of those senior year experiences. But again, I just don't know the steps involved in reclassifying to be able to, essentially get on campus a whole year early. I feel like that's some Braylon Allen stuff from Wisconsin.
Yeah. You'd have to have all your credits done.
Mm-hmm. So
if he had all of his credits, which a lot of seniors at this point do, especially if, for a lot of these athletes, they start school later. So they'll start school when they're 6. and graduate a lot of times when they're 18, 19.
Is that like in the movie Varsity Blues, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna hold him back a year so he's big for freshman ball?
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rostovsky
exactly.
says that he was going to enroll in a prep school for a year, so to be a 2025 guy. But once he committed, he canceled his enrollment there and became eligible for 2024.
There you go. There you go.
This is why we have Rostovsky around.
This is why. Rostovsky.
Don't jump the gun on us, Justin Raji. We'll get there. And look who's late to the party, but here nonetheless, and that's Tiger Shark Diver.
Hello.
Hello, Tiger Shark Diver. We missed you. We're glad you're here.
What's up?
And well, let's move right on to Justin, who's jumping the gun, because there was a decommitment out west that should be favorable to Nebraska. And
this is good.
Well, tell us all about it.
So it's Brian Tapoo, offensive
Bless
tackle. You. I know. He's from Utah, and he's only played in the States for a year. His family is actually from New Zealand. That's where he's from. But he's Polynesian. I think we showed a picture of him last week, and I thought he was in Hawaii with Roll, and everyone's like, no, that's Lincoln. And then I don't know who it was, but somebody said, oh, I think it's Berlin. So we saw him. He had an official visit. He then went to Oregon State. He committed while he was there. His cousin plays for Oregon State. He has an uncle that's a coach there, and he just kind of got wrapped up in it and said, that he was committed, and then he decommitted. And today he did an interview and said that he might be announcing tonight his commitment, hopefully to Nebraska. So this guy's huge. Almost 300 pounds, 6'8".
I mean, that's not such an achievement. At one point, just a couple months ago, I was almost 300 pounds, so.
And 6'8"?
Well, I can't.
And he's still growing.
I can't be 6'8", Minnie. Stop asking for the impossible, okay?
Well, I'm just saying, 6'8" and almost 300 pounds. And he's still growing. He's gonna fill out his frame.
Yeah, my problem is I'm still growing, but wider, not taller. So
you're not.
Oh, stop. Brian Tapoo, we look forward to you.
Yes. At
good old Nebraska U.
Yeah. So, he said that the number one thing that he loves about Nebraska is Coach Raiola, the relationship he has with them. So
I'm not 4'8", you shit.
Huh?
Aaron Keene says, yeah, Greg, big difference between 6'8" and 4'8". I'm almost 6'3".
Burn.
Damn. You know what? I didn't even bring up the fact that you fell out of your truck, Aaron, okay? So I may be shorter than 6'8", but you're old and you don't see so good sometimes.
Well, you're pretty tall.
I know, but I'm not 6'8", and I'll never get there. Like I told my dad's tall. My dad was a damn good athlete. He received a letter from Bobby Knight back when he was in high school. I don't remember the content of it. I've seen it a couple times, but I don't remember word for word. Like, hey, would really like you to come out to Bloomington, blah, blah, blah. But I told him a few months back, I said, my biggest regret in life, Dad, is that I'll never be as tall as you. And he just looked at me like I was fucking stupid. So he's not wrong. Sometimes I am kind of fucking stupid. So, all right, moving on. Brian Tapoo, we look forward to you.
Yes, we do.
We have other news of a commitment, or not of a commitment, but of a committed player that caused you to raise an eyebrow, Minnie. Tell us your biggest concerns about what's going on with our one of our 2025 quarterback commits, TJ Lateef.
Yeah. So I'm sure everybody saw this interview that he gave to 24/7 Sports where they asked him, at the very end what his commitment was looking like for Nebraska. And he said, I won't speak on that. And it freaked everybody out. It put a big question mark out there. Is he really committed? Is he, what is going on here? And thankfully, he quieted our minds because we get all crazy. And he said, I am 100% solid to Nebraska.
Well, yeah, because the way you phrased it, when you're setting up these topics, you're like, TJ Lateef asked if his commitment is, closed or phrasing it in some way. He's like, I'm not going to speak on that. Or if his recruitment was shut down, I guess. Mm-hmm. And you were like, in our Slack notes, you're like, WTH, TJ. But you didn't tell the group about the update on the story. I've been sitting here thinking for the last 24 to 36 hours, I've been pondering the worst case scenarios. Because
you haven't really? Well, we just found out about it yesterday afternoon.
Well, that's when I saw the notes to put together the stream yesterday afternoon. Like, this is a non-story now. I feel bad.
It's a big story because I can't tell you how many people were freaked out. Rumors everywhere because he's, it's a big commitment.
Fred says, I wish he'd commit to a haircut, not look like a WNBA player. I'm going to say this because I've noticed this is a growing trend. When I was in high school, I was one of when I graduated, I was still 17. I didn't turn 18 until about 6 weeks after graduation because I have a birthday next week. You don't have to get me anything. John's going to send a shirt, I'm sure. Don't worry. But when I was in high school, I remember there were 2 kids who had tattoos. And they were like, waited till you turned 18. Those are the 90s, or 99, 2000. Now, like, kids are coming out with, again, TJ Lateef here. He's not even a senior in high school. He's got a full sleeve tattoo. Like, that's not cheap. What the hell are these kids doing? Am I just like old man yelling at the clouds? I'm not anti-tattoo. I've got a couple, but just, come on, Minnie.
Well, I don't have any. And I didn't know anybody in high school with any tattoos or in college even.
Different times.
Very different.
What are you going to say when your oldest daughter comes up to you in a couple of years and says, Mom, I want to get a tattoo?
Well, we've already discussed this. So, yeah. I mean, I don't have anything against tattoos at all. I just you have to realize they are permanent. Like, are you really going to want this on your body when you're 80 or 90? That's all. That's all I want to say to them. Okay. Nice. What is it?
That is the Green Lantern tattoo because I'm a huge nerd.
Well, there you go. So you do want that on your body when you're 80 or 90.
Yes. Aaron Keene says, I have over 30 tattoos. No tattoo shaming, please. And he's already 80 or 90. So, he's probably fine. Brasco Rascal says, Greg finally getting that T-shirt and $35 for my birthday. Speaking, where the hell is David Matney?
He must be selling a house.
He must be. Is Angela even still around? Because I feel like the Matney household is severely underrepresented tonight. So, I don't know. Did you comment this?
I did. Oh, I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah. Also, who's Gregory?
I'll just start calling you Mahachko from now on.
That's
like
fine.
I do with Rostovsky. Mahachko.
I that's a name I wear proudly. Aaron, I'm not picking a fight. It's all fun and games. We're here. I'm here to entertain. Jason Reeves says, I'm the only sailor without a tattoo, and I'm good with that. And also says, holy shit, Greg, we have the same birthday.
Oh, there you go, Jason Reeves.
This is going to really make everybody sad because next Thursday is 4th of July. And so we're not going to do a show on the 4th of July. We've discussed it looks like we're going to do it on Wednesday the 3rd. And I don't think I'm going to make it back. Like, I think I'll probably be walking in the door about this time next Wednesday. So if I show up, I'll be late and I'll be suited and booted. So we'll figure that out. But yeah, so be aware of that, everybody. The show next week is going to be on Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Mm-hmm. So you can all revel and celebrate the 4th, preferably responsibly. No urgent care trips, please, although this was not firework induced.
Well, Jason Reeves says, can we have a birthday show? Why couldn't we do it on the 5th? Do you have plans? Can we throw you a birthday show?
I mean, that's I suppose we could.
I'm all for a birthday show.
All right. Well, I'll rearrange my schedule and we'll do the show on Friday. Is that okay? Is that all right with everybody? Because this is a democratic republic, so it's more than just majority. But are you okay with us doing the show next Friday, July 5th?
Angela, yep, we're watching the debate. We can't go up against the debate.
No, the debate's going on right now.
Oh.
And let me tell you, I would much rather watch this than the debate.
Actually, because you know what? I can't wait to watch it. It'll be fun.
Let me, at least with us, like, I'm pretty upfront that I'm full of shit. You know, like, I'm not hiding it. Unlike the people on the debate who are full of shit.
It's true.
And we don't talk politics on the show for a reason, because nobody is going to come away happy with that. And our job here is to hopefully make you laugh and, if anything, take you out of the real world for a little while. Like, that's why I don't watch, like, serious dramas and things that are based in the real world. Like, that's why I like goofy Lord of the Rings and Marvel stuff. And yeah, are you talking about Jason or me?
This is you.
Okay,
maybe Jason too.
Supposed to give him his birthday present if he is live. Well, definitely not on the stream. I'll tell you that damn much. But knowing he's here, David Matney's here.
Finally, he showed up. Oops.
Let me just say, as probably safe and diplomatically as I can, I wouldn't make that your primary concern. I've spent years making it my primary concern, and I've got nothing to show for it. So we'll just plan on doing the show Friday. Yeah, we'll do the show Friday, 9 o'clock.
Fun. Great.
And then I definitely won't be here 2 weeks after that because I'll be on vacation with the family. So,
okay.
Living in Omaha, David Matney, the official realtor of the 5 Heart Podcast, finally arrives 54 minutes into the episode, and we are so glad to see you. David Matney, yes. Jason Reeves, David Matney, can you come to our birthday party? We're having a birthday party because we found out just a few moments ago that Jason and I share the exact same birthday, July 5th, probably different years if I had to guess. So we're going to do a show next week. And it'll be on Friday instead of Thursday. Mm-hmm. It'll be birthday themed. We're probably not going to talk any Nebraska sports. It'll probably just be.
Well, can we do one thing?
Oh crap! What?
That we've been putting off. Can we rate our favorite uniforms? That'll be easy. Are you frozen? Or are you just like...
No, that's fine. We'll make it work.
That'll be fun.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can't put something from the light or from the fan just to, work up this general area here. A birthday party and birthday hat and ageism stream. You know what? You know what I might do? You know what I might do for such an auspicious occasion? I might wear these the entire time.
Oh my gosh. And we'll have to let you because it's your birthday.
Damn right. These are my birthday suit.
Okay, but it's not your birthday yet. So you gotta hold off another week. Just one more week, Greg. You can have all the glow in the dark light sunglasses that you want, okay?
Fred's thinking what I'm thinking. You know what sounds great for birthday attire is the birthday suit.
Oh my gosh.
No, I like you all, and I don't want to punish any of you by making you look at that. The glasses. Who said it? Where's tassels on the boob light? You know what? Closest we have, I think, are my wife's graduation tassels from when she got her master's a few years ago. I'll see if I can't rig those up to hang from the light next Friday night. We'll go full on embracing. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is going to be great.
It's so exciting. Douglas is here. Douglas Cody says, okay, he said in a previous comment, okay, true fans, ... He doesn't understand how quickly comments move. How many days until kickoff?
Well,
do you know that one without looking? No.
Is it 73?
It's August 31st.
Yeah.
It's only 64
so
days.
60.
64. So we're getting closer.
Can't wait. 65.
Fred says I'm 7 years younger than my favorite Chatterfield.
7 years. So you're 40, what? 3?
I'll be 42.
So that would mean Fred is 49. Ooh.
Who?
Well, he just had a birthday, so he must have just turned 49.
Wait a minute. Roger Moore says September 7th is the kick. September 7th is the Colorado game. We play UTEP first on August 31st. Okay. So.
Yep. Yeah.
I like that.
He's not counting that one.
Enjoy your youth. Jason Reeves says he's 10 years younger than the favorite Chatterfield. So I love you all equally. You're like my children. Most
but you're older.
So
it's a weird family dynamic.
It's a great day to be alive. All right. So we've got some recruits that we're still keeping our eye on, and Minnie, you're going to tell us their names while I impress the people with the magic of imagery.
Yes, do that. Christian Jones.
I just want to say, right there, that dude looks like a grown-ass man.
Remember, this is the guy that was wearing the shorter shorts last week. I showed you a picture of him.
No, I tend to not remember men in short shorts.
Well, he has, his muscles are just ginormous. So we're hoping to still get Christian Jones.
Glad you didn't say they were bulging. Weird.
I'm not going to make that mistake again.
Who else?
Chase Lofton, tight end. These guys are 4 stars. Look at how tall he is.
He looks too tall. He looks like he skipped lower half leg day.
Well, his calves. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like knees down. They look too. And I'm not a fan of the white socks with the white slides. Come on now.
Really? No, I think it's great.
I'm like,
And
I'm
if
wearing
you
slides,
compare-
but I got bare feet on, so it's cool.
Look at how long from his knees
Right.
down. Look at how long his calves are.
And they look like they need work. That's what TSD says.
I mean, have you seen most of our football players' calves are not very big. They just aren't. They're actually they need work. A lot of our players.
Corey,
calves.
what's his name's job?
They do. I don't know how do you get bigger calves? What do you do?
I mean, I was born with fat calves. Like not fat, like
or ankles. Like how do you build on your ankles?
I have what I would consider man size ankles and calves. Like there's definition in my calves, but I don't have ankles. So here, hold on. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna. Yeah, Rostovsky says you just get that calf machine going.
Oh, okay.
Zizach says, good evening, Gent and Minnie.
Hello.
Good evening to you. You're an hour late, but we'll forgive you because we're having fun.
In comparison to Matt Roll's calves, they're
That's
just
right.
as
You
big.
you work your calves. That's how strength training works. I feel like so I don't know how many of you are on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok too terribly much. Minnie, you might be, your daughters might be, something like that. But there is a growing list from one individual, and it's called the ick list. And anytime a woman complains, like, the newest ick is when a guy does something nice for his mom or, opens the door for me. It's a long list of ridiculous things, and it's the ick list. And Braska Rascal says, mini calf shaming now added to the list. Like, I feel like we need to start making a list of all the things that Minnie shames, like my height, my weight, my glasses of various design.
And seriously, if you take a look at our football players' calves, I mean, right half of, I'd say about, but they're young. That's why. They're not like David Hofkin's calves.
Oh, how old is David Hofkin?
He's 22.
He's going to be a freshman?
Yeah.
That seems...
Yeah. He's going to have 4 years to play.
When I was in college, I was a freshman in college again. I was 18 years old. And we had, I can't even call him a kid. We had a guy on our team who was the same age as me academically. We were both freshmen, but he was 23 and he was from Ireland. Owen O'Brien was his name. He does like stunt work in movies. I don't keep in touch with him, but I know people who do. He looked like a grown-ass man, but Owen's biggest advantage is when it was party night, be like, everybody gave him the money, and he goes and buys the beer. So, never hurts to have a foreign kid on your team who's legal.
Good friend. Got
Good friend. Let's see. Jason Reeves says Dave Remington had extraordinarily small calves. His daddy made him carry those bastards out to pasture every day for a year. But I feel like, are we going to do like the calf or ankle comparison with like the wrist? Is that going to be the next thing?
You guys are the ones who brought it up. I don't know if a calf muscle is as important as the circumference of a knee. I'm not sure.
It is. Maybe
I've never studied this. But I'm just saying, like, a knee circumference is pretty important.
So I'm going to throw a link in the chat, and I don't know how linky it will be as far as like if you're able to link it. This is the IMDb for the guy I'm talking about, Owen. It's spelled kind of like you'd expect it to be spelled. If he's Irish, it's E-O-I-N. And again, I don't know how able you will be to link or click that link, but that's his IMDb. Good dude. Looks rugged as a son of a gun. So all right, moving on.
Okay, next we have Will Hawthorne from Iowa. He's a 3-star linebacker.
Looks like that according to the player rating from 247 Sports. He's the number 6 player in the state of Iowa.
Yep.
Or number 6 linebacker. That's what it is. Number 10 player in Iowa.
I just like the idea of us getting players from Iowa. Greg.
Oh, what? I thought that was muted. Was that not muted?
No, it was not.
Sorry. My apologies.
My goodness.
I honestly thought my thing was muted. So, all right, now it's muted. Now you can't hear me, and that's okay. But what I really like about Will Hawthorne's college list is I don't see Iowa on there. I see Iowa State, Air Force, Army, Columbia, and Nebraska.
Yep. How do you like that?
Suck it, Iowa.
Suck it.
That reminds me. I'm going to see if I can't pull this picture. While you mention the next player
Okay.
or the next topic, I'm going to try to pull an image for the show's benefit.
Okay. The next guy we have that we're still holding out for is Bryson Weber from Texas. He's a cornerback, 4-star. And I read that he could be actually offense too. So he could be a wide receiver as well. And there he is just a couple days ago with Coach Bartell. Well, no, excuse me, Coach Coop. Is that who that is? Help.
No, I'm going to leave you out there by yourself for that.
I'm trying to remember. Okay, that is...
I don't know what I said.
Greg, what in the... Did you say?
Is it because I burped accidentally?
I don't know. Josh Hansen's here.
¿Cómo está, friendos?
Finally. Hello. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Wouldn't you have said amigos? I feel like that's the more. If you're gonna.
Friendos. That's the gringo way.
Well, we're not gringos here. We're
Yes,
either.
we are. You are. And so is Josh.
I'm bilingual. Actually, I take it back. I'm trilingual because I try to speak Spanish.
Okay.
Fred, this is my second Yingling, but I also had one of those delicious Kentucky bourbon vanilla cream ales. So I'm just this, and I have one more Yingling in my little baggie here, and then I'm out of Yingling. But I'm going to Missouri tomorrow, so I'm coming back with Yingling.
Oh, all right.
Fireworks shenanigans for the 3-year-old. Well, that sounds safe. Way to go.
Sounds fun. Good.
Fred says, about time, Josh Hansen, you missed the calf talk.
Yep.
And
How big are your calves? TSD wants to know how hot it is in Arizona. It's hot. Oh my gosh.
Why are we?
It's so hot.
It's not that hot.
What?
It's
Are
not
you
that
kidding?
hot. It's not that hot.
How hot is it where you live?
Now or what the high was for today?
What was your high for the
Let me
day?
double check that. We got in the 90s today.
I mean, the thing is around the country, almost everyone likes to look at the weather, right? You enjoy checking what is this week's weather going to be like. You don't even bother here. You just know it's going to be hot, hotter, and extremely hot.
So I can't tell you what it is right now. Sorry. Best I can do is tell you that tomorrow looks like we're touching 90 in the afternoon.
Oh, nice, cool 90.
Well, I'm gonna say this:
107 today.
Okay.
It's always over 100. So.
Justin Raji with the news breaking. This guy.
This is awesome.
This guy.
Great news.
This guy has officially committed to Nebraska. Justin Raji, you have earned yourself.
What does he earn?
Something. I mean, I can't give away shirts because I haven't received mine yet, so I don't want to put him on like the wait list and have it be another 3 years.
Oh man. I think at this point, John should just give us all the shirt, like
all the inventory.
Yes, because we can do a lot more with it than he can.
Well, he doesn't have the inventory. Like we have to go get the shirts. You know, they get printed and sent out. So
maybe we should just buy some shirts to send them out.
But I like that, you know, so Justin made this comment at 10:09, and we got talking about fireworks and heat, yada, yada, yada. And at 10:10, he's like, Greg, look at my above comment. And so I had to scroll up to the above comment. So Justin's in there, first one in, and that goes all the way back to 10:37 this morning when he was the first comment. Beat Rostovsky.
Look at this. He says, Tapoo says 1,000% committed on Twitter. Sorry, Greg. X. 1,000.
Spectacular. Nebraska Rascal says Tapoo probably going on a Mormon mission, so we won't see the field for 2 years. And Aaron Keene with a tremendous point. I think it gets overlooked quite a bit. Rule and Company really crushing it on the recruiting front, but more importantly, the retention front as well.
Yeah.
I mean, even after the spring, we didn't have a ton of attrition. So whatever this group is doing, they're doing well. Bottle it and hold on to it for future years. All right, so let's move on then to the Elite Mini. You've got some tremendous updates about Elite.
Tremendous. Only because nobody's even talking about it. Every year, well, now this is our second year, so it's an annual thing that they do in the summer. Nebraska football puts together a list of guys that are kind of killing it. The qualities that they listed last year are the essence of self-discipline and the relentless pursuit of improvement, as well as self-respect. So every week they put guys' names up on X and Instagram and all of these social platforms. And we're in the third week of 7 weeks. So that's what we have.
Are you able to read all those names on the bottom of this image?
No, but I can read them to you.
I've got last names for you if you're ready.
Go for it.
Banks and Barney Jr., Booker and Bauer, E. Brown, Buddha, Mario and Marquise Buford, A. and J. Bullock, Bushini, Bustard, Charles, Klossman, Coleman, Evans, Fedoni, Gotchula, Harburg, Lenhart, Longval, Mangini, Noonan, Parrott, Robinson, Rogers, Shaver, Sherman, Stanger, Thompson, that's T. Thompson specifically, Van Poppel, Mituki, and Wright. Those are your week 3 Elite.
And one thing I've noticed is from year to year, there's a couple of names on here that are always on. But one in particular that I think we should be really thrilled about, and that is the long snapper, Camden Watuki. Last year, he was on the list, and this year, he's also on the list. This is a great thing.
This is the 5 Heart Podcast. We've been doing this. I think we established in the past, we've been doing this since something like 2013, 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 2015. Again, there was detasseling the Huskers. It was a different show. Never in the, let's say, almost 10 years of this show have we ever mentioned the long snapper more than you have in like the last 2 months?
Well, that's a shame because he's very important.
I'm not saying that he's not important, but there are a reason we call them the unsung heroes. We
Well,
don't
somebody
need to,
needs to give him some love.
that's do we? No. That's for the coaching staff. That's for the 18 to 20 year NFL career that they can have if they do it right and stay healthy.
Yeah. Yep.
That's not for this show. Like, with all due respect, please don't ever mention a long snapper ever again.
You're seriously asking me not to mention him ever again? It's his first year.
Not just him,
Playing
but
in
the position in general.
Why?
I can't take it
on.
anymore. If you're going to mention the long snapper, I'm going to wear my light up glasses in perpetuity.
My gosh. All right. Fine.
I'll be impressed if you go 2 weeks without mentioning that. Let's see. Fred Sacco says Greg looks like he's almost done with that second Yingling. Can look pretty light. It's about halfway. Highlander Gunn says I thought Greg was having a seizure as he read that. He's not. Sounds like a Sopranos episode. There were a fair amount of in that list. Love some long Vince. Stop it.
Vince knows. Vince, thank you.
The same time as the Hawk-Tua girl. Are you up to speed on that situation?
No. Oh, yes, I am.
Okay. I don't want to elaborate, but I feel like maybe if we talk about things that are in the cultural zeitgeist, then maybe we'll, like, am I going to put hashtag Hawk-Tua in this? Probably not. But.
Okay.
What happened to Greg's finger? Tiger Shark Diver. I request.
No. He has to go back and watch.
That's what I was going to say.
Okay. Oh, okay.
I humbly request that the conclusion of this show run back to the first few minutes of this episode where I discuss and disclose the injury. Thankful to have the finger. It could have gone either way. I mean, the injury wasn't that severe, but had the incident gone a different way, I might be old Nine-Finger Greg. So, Fred says Hawk-Tua sounds like another Polynesian mini Woodstock.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of stalking, Greg.
Yes, ma'am.
There's some Raiola news.
Is there, though?
Nobody else is talking about.
Because
nobody.
Is it possible because it's just not news?
It's really? I think it's huge news.
Okay. We'll see about that. We'll let the Chatterfields decide if this is news. Go ahead and say it. And
you guys tell me.
I'll put the image up there.
Thank you. So, Miss Taylor Raiola is officially a Husker.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
What does this mean? She now works for Nebraska football staff as a graduate manager in recruiting.
Wasn't she playing volleyball at TCU?
She was. She graduated from TCU, and now she is part of our recruiting staff. So I think this is a big deal because people love to speculate. What if Dylan transfers? What if Dylan transfers? And I'm like, he's not transferring, guys. He's not transferring. His sister is ingrained now in our I don't want to say culture, but that's what it is. She's a part of it. So I think this is a big deal for that reason. And there she is with, oh gosh, Avery Gossett, the other. She's in charge of all the recruiting.
Fred wants to know if she'll recruit other Raiolas in perpetuity.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're hoping. Next Dylan or Dayton.
Rostowski says, what are the odds we hired a Raiola?
Now, I knew people were going to say that.
I mean,
but this is an important thing. You
running
want
out of
them
Raiolas.
apart.
At this point, we just got to hire their dad, and that's it, you know.
Yeah.
Aaron Keene says, because he loves to stir the pot, I think it's a stretch to tie her employment to her brother's impending transfer. I think you broke Minnie's mind with that one.
Well, I just love all the Raiolas there in Lincoln. And as soon as we can get Dayton there, that's a good thing. It's a great thing.
Fred says, next, Dylan or Dayton or Dizzy or DeAndre or Dominatrix. That's one of those I started reading and I didn't finish reading before I clicked show.
Yeah. So,
good times. Good times. All right. Well, let's knock through some of these. Brasco, Rascal, you rascal. At 9:34, you asked how our long snapper was looking. But you put it in quotes, so I'm not entirely sure if you mean the player or something dirty.
That's interesting. Huh, other people want to know.
But he put it in quotes, so. Fred says she's not a true Raiola. First name doesn't start with D. Aaron Rostovsky says Googling Dominatrix Raiola for Minnie, obviously. I think it's probably good. We don't want that to pop up, in her search history. So we appreciate you falling on that particular sword there, Rostovsky. Yeah, I don't think anybody cares about the long snapper. No offense to the tremendous long snappers that we've had. It's just, there's a reason nobody knows their names.
We do.
You
know.
Do. You do.
We all know. Because he plays an important role.
So I think we're going to talk a little bit more about Mr. Tapoo because at 9:05 this evening from X, Brad Havlovic said, we need a big commitment. Who and when will that be? And that has happened while we were doing this show with Brian Tapoo. So, who's the next big get? Because we talked already about what's his name selecting Alabama over Nebraska, the kid from Missouri.
We didn't mention that. We didn't.
No, we didn't talk about it on the show, but we talked about it internally.
Yeah, that sucks. So
and yet you won't mention his name.
Nope.
Dawson Merritt. I'll say it. It's kind of like in the middle of, in the first half of the movie, The Ten Commandments. I think we talked about this before. Pharaoh has the edict. He's like, we'll never mention this name again. I'll be stricken from all the records. He's like, but with my dying breath, I'll say the name Moses. Like, who cares? It's a kid, and he's going to another school. He wasn't Husker material. Moving on.
Yeah.
Brasco Rascal. I can't. Scott, if that's you, that's fine. But just know, I can't not say it. Brasco Rascal. That's just how I'm always going to say it. We need to get Cardi Smith, the 4-star offensive lineman. I don't disagree. Fred, stirring the shit, says, I heard Taylor Raiola got a better offer from Trev at A&M and is taking all the other Ds with her.
Mm-hmm.
Not this late, because transfer portal's closed. Probably the only one that The only one she could potentially take now is Dayton.
And Dayton loves Nebraska. He was in love with Nebraska more than any of the Raiolas.
There was a little dynasty up in Chadron when I was up there with the McLean family. Couple, they were Chadron Cardinals at the high school. A couple of them went on to be quarterbacks at Chadron State College. But there was like every 2 years there was a boy, a young man who played quarterback and also like linebacker or cornerback, something like that. Very athletic, very, very talented family. But it could be like the Raiolas could be the McLeans of the University of Nebraska. Just saying.
Ooh.
Just the perpetual Raiola machine.
Yeah. It's going to be like that.
Thought that might make you happy. Aaron Keene said at 9:39 when we were talking about everybody on X, where we have currently we have almost 1,400 viewers on X. He says, why the hell are the Xers not on YouTube where the real party is? That's the real question. Xers, you can join us on Corn Nation's YouTube channel for all these great shows. And by the way, if you're over on X and you haven't subscribed to the channel, we're less than 20 away from 10,000. And what that means, I think, because I don't know, because John doesn't share any of those of the revenue, but maybe John will get a raise and then maybe I'll get a shirt.
Yeah. So if you're leaning towards getting a subscription,
it's free to subscribe, but if you want to be a member, you can do that too. Let's see. Braska Rascal says, I'm recruiting Dayton because he's a lefty like me. Dayton loves Nebraska and long walks on the beach and the sound of breaking glass during a thunderstorm. I'll tell you what, the only breaking glass sound that I know continues with bum, 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 dun, 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 and somebody going to the squared circle, taking a couple of Steve Weisers, smashing them together, and a beer bath. Oh, yeah. That's the bottom line. Because Greg Moshko said so. Too much.
all right.
Vince Watson wants to know if Ndamukong Suh has any sons for you to stalk, Minnie. Probably not of age yet.
We'll see.
So
We'll definitely be looking that up.
Fred says the last time John got a raise was from Blue Chew. Hey, sometimes you just need a little extra confidence in the bedroom. And Blue Chew can help with that with its discreet packaging, but your package will be discreet.
Greg. Okay.
Yeah. What? Hey,
next week. It's your birthday show next week. You can do all that next week.
Nobody has ever before stepped on one of my Blue Chew live reads. Besides, if they were an actual paying advertisement, would you tell me to shut up? Or would you say, Greg, make that money?
I mean, I probably have to allow you to say it. But I don't. I don't have to right now.
There'd probably be some like testimonial portion there for you to be like, my husband and I love Blue Chew.
Never. I would never have a testimony.
Fred says, Minnie always blushes during the Greg Chew ads. I don't know if I wouldn't call him Greg Chew. That feels weird.
Greg Chew. Yep.
Rostovsky says that Sue has 2 twin sons, like 3 to 5 years old, somewhere in there.
Okay.
So
we have 15 years.
Hey, my twins are 3.
13? Okay.
Maybe my boys and the Sioux boys could be teammates at good old Nebraska U. Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Well, you do have good sized knees and wrists and self-proclaimed badonkadonk. So maybe your boys will inherit that.
Yeah, Rob also has the
football.
Rob already as a 3-year-old has the temperament of a nose tackle. Like he's just mean. And I've got to cultivate that in a proper and productive direction. So
put him on a football team.
There you go. We have some other great ones here. we're talking about Brian Tapoo, but Jason Reeves says, all joking here, but is Tapoo actually Mormon? In which case that mission might be a thing. I don't know his religious leanings.
Wait, what?
I don't know if Brian Tapoo is actually Mormon. They said he lived from New Zealand. He moved to Utah.
Yeah.
Utah is like a large population of Mormon people, but I don't know if he's actually Mormon.
Huh. Who knows? I don't know.
Let's see. Rostovsky says, my 4-year-old son will hold down the right tackle spot on that team. Let's see.
Well, we have a bunch of 3, 4, and 5-year-olds that have dads that are Nebraska fans. So one day, hopefully, we're getting them recruited. Let's get them started now. Get the offers coming in. Get them started on social media.
I'll do my best. No, I don't know about social media. Brasco Rascal says, I'm looking forward to seeing Minnie on the chain gang this season in Lincoln. And Fred says, shit, Greg, Minnie's now stalking you. This is like the end of The Usual Suspects. What a twist.
Yes.
Let's see. Aaron Keene says to Rostovsky, he has to master wearing pants on camera first, though. I guess they're talking about me.
No, his son.
Oh.
Remember, he was
right.
Kind of
ran
naked.
In. I mean, hey, up to a certain age, you can get away.
So cute. It was so cute.
Here we go. Follow up. Rostovsky says, funny story. He was completely naked in the streets of Lincoln this very evening. Dude has no shame. No shame in his game.
It's comfortable.
Okay. Yes, if you're comfortable in your own skin. All right. So Jason Reeves says, I can't not shout out my boy, Steve Hendricks, who went to Air Force Academy, rocked as Major League Baseball, went on mission. No, I'm sorry. Rocked as middle linebacker. Got my MLBs mixed up. Sorry, Jason. Rocked as middle linebacker, went on mission, and gave his 6-year commitment to the Air Force as a grad assistant and linebacker coach. So there you go. Thank you, Jason, for that shout out. Hey, if y'all got a shout out, put it in here. Like, we like those stories.
That's fun. I love that.
You know? Yep. Let's see here. Blaine Cole has an idea for a topic this summer. How about a poll or conversation for favorite helmet post leather? It's like favorite helmet design. Since we're doing next week, you've told me on my birthday show, by the way, I don't get to say, but you said we're doing, favorite uniforms, favorite Nebraska looks. Blaine Cole says, well, what about favorite helmet?
I love that idea. But
this is where she's going to shit on it.
Our buddy Connor from Corn Crazed is doing that for his next show. Not that we can't do it.
I was going to say, like, dude, no offense to Connor. Is that his name? Connor?
Greg. Yes, his name's Connor. And you're going to meet him. He's a cool dude.
I'm going to put you on the spot right now. Who's cooler, me or Connor?
Greg. I mean, Connor doesn't wear suspenders. But you're cool. You're very cool.
Now I'm fashion shamed. Put it on the list. Put it on the list. I've been fashion shamed.
Greg, you're my buddy.
I'm just not cool.
No, yes, you are. You have the glow-in-the-dark glasses and everything.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. Brasco Rascal says, shout out to Greg for, well, I'll get back to you on that. That sums up my life. But I'm not going to get too personal on the show. But like on a week where I could really use something uplifting personally, y'all are not bringing it. So this show's just about over tonight. I'm excited to go to bed.
We love you. And we can't wait to celebrate your birthday next Friday, guys. Sure. Be here.
Rostovsky says, no suspenders. Obviously, Greg is cooler. She's bashing on suspenders, but you wore braces. You're good. It's true. We don't call them suspenders. Thank you. Connor is subpar Husker YouTuber. That makes me feel better, actually. You know what they say, like a high tide raises all boats, but no, sometimes I just want to like shoot a cannon into somebody else's boat. So thank you, Justin. That makes me feel good.
Justin's got your back.
Minnie puts the hats on the table. Fate grabs the 5 heart attack, then attacks Greg. That is
par
for the course.
Greg's my buddy. If it wasn't for Greg, I wouldn't even be doing this.
Well, technically, you emailed John.
Well, if it wasn't for you, Greg, I wouldn't be here. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
It's true.
All right, we got one more comment, and then we've got to get out of here. I've got things I've got to do because the children are asleep, and I can actually be productive in the house with my wife away. Aaron Keene, this is a great question, actually. Do we have any recon on Colorado, though? I seriously wonder if they're even worthy of a rivalry this year. Well, I'll tell you this much. The dumbasses, the folks at EA Sports believe they have higher ranked defense than we do.
Ridiculous.
And I hope that every one of those players in that Nebraska locker room takes that personally. Not that you need, quote unquote, bulletin board material to get fired up for a game of this magnitude. But I want our black shirts to go out there on September 7th and stomp. Whoa.
Kill them. No, I agree with you. That's what you were going to say.
I was going to say stomp their dicks in the dirt, but.
Good.
I want to cause them so much harm. Stop. You can't say you're going to get us kicked off. Look, we are already like one step away from being suspended on our YouTube channel. We're honest to God, we're one misstep away from being having our YouTube channel suspended.
We're not killing anybody.
I just want to cause them so much pain and suffering that they are unable to father children. Better? Because I'm not unaliving them.
Better. That's actually doing physical harm.
Yeah, you said the K word. I just don't want them to be able to procreate.
Okay.
I think, and you can take this however you want to. If you think I'm joking, great. If you think I'm serious, great. I think it's time for the Sanders line to go.
Ooh.
To end at this generation.
Ooh.
Do whatever you need to do to make sure that the team as a whole cannot father children. I mean, except it's Boulder, so they probably already have like 1,000 illegitimate children running around.
I know.
So that's dark. We went to a dark place. I'm not happy about it. I didn't want to have to say that.
I'm actually okay with it. I'm actually okay with this. It's okay.
Blaine Cole, I like your even keelness. All I want to see is Big Red outperform and outscore the opposition. That's in an ideal world, when you keep your, I don't even want to say, because I know, Blaine, you're very passionate fan, very, very long time fan, but like I just had that little bit of hatred. I appreciate your temperament about all this. In an ideal world, we'll just outperform and outscore everybody. That's it.
Yeah. Well, all I have to say is about that game is, did you really expect that they would show us any love? Nobody wants to show us any love. Nobody. I'm not going to say like it's us against the world, but that's what it seems like sometimes.
I think we need to have a reality check with Mr. Rostovsky. He says, I'll not say anything bad about the people bringing back my favorite game of all time. I was almost late for my wedding playing NCAA 2013.
Wow.
Aaron, will you do a little run on the show next week and just tell us that story? I mean, I know it might be as cut and dry as that, but on my birthday show, and more importantly on Jason Reeves' birthday show, will you just do a little run in and share? Will you share your testimony? Speak from the heart, brother. And let us all be with you. And
I can't wait.
It's
This
gonna
will
have
be fun.
We're gonna have a good time next week.
Mm-hmm.
Minnie, I'm gonna ask that next week you bring an alcoholic beverage or 4.
Okay.
And we're gonna have us a good old time.
All right. I'll be mixing drinks back here. Have my own bartender. Maybe I could have my own bartender for this party.
Okay, but remember they can't be underage, so they can't be Riola.
Okay.
Just because you want to be on the chain gang doesn't mean that you can make them your bartender.
That would be fun.
Stop it. Fred says, Minnie bringing the Dylantinis to the show.
Ooh, what would be in a Dylantini? I'll have to figure that drink out.
Would be like, and I'm not trying to be.
Watch it.
Well, I'm trying to be very specific. They are Hawaiian?
Polynesian.
Polynesian, okay. Would it be insensitive? And I'm asking. I'm trying to be as nice about this, but like you assume like a general martini, but maybe instead of like when we make it dirty, it's like what, olive juice or something?
Uh-huh.
Maybe instead of that, maybe a little coconut water. And instead of an olive, maybe a little wedge of pineapple.
So a fruity martini. Dylantini's a fruity martini? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just trying to something that speaks to his roots. I'm not trying to be funny about it. I don't drink those drinks. Like I drink beer.
I don't drink them either.
Well, you're gonna.
But I might if it's a Dylantini. Who knows?
So, sounds like you have your work cut out for you. The good news is you have a whole extra day to do it. Because again, next week, while we kicked around the idea of having the show on Thursday the 3rd, we're going to actually do the show on Friday the 5th. It's my birthday. It's Jason Reeves' birthday, and we'll have some fun.
It'll be
fun. We'll keep it light. We'll not have much of a format.
No, not much. Unless something big happens, we have to mention it.
Of course. If something big happens that we have to mention, yes. But we'll have some images prepared for some of our favorite uniforms over the years, and we're just going to keep it light. We're going to keep it fun. We'll have a good time next Friday night, 9:00 Central. As a reminder, it's not just mine, but it's also God's favorite time zone, and we will see you then. So until that time. For my co-host and friend Minnie Hunt, I'm Greg Mahochko. This is the 5 Heart Podcast, and we remind you each and every week that 5 Heart is all the heart you need. Minnie?
Go big red. Go big red.
Until next week.